Given the wave of bankruptcies of counties and cities across the country, in a large part due to employee pensions, why didn't you mention converting pension plans to 401ks like most of the private sector taxpayers have?
I think two things. Number one, you have contracts with unions that go out several years. You also have a county that has always been, as far as their pensions, in good shape. So I think before you jump into this, we need to at least have somebody do a study to see feasibility, what effect it has on those who have already retired, and how it's going to be funded to protect the employees, because their lives are on the line. I think that we owe it to them to go slowly, make sure that we know everything we're going to do and what the outcome is. I don't think we can just say we're going to throw them under the bus. I think we have to make sure that, number one, we can protect it and make sure that they are our employees. We can't throw them under the bus.
You only gave me 1 minute. I can't get it all in 1 minute. Surely the pensions need to be looked at, but that's going to affect the personnel, the employees of the county, and I think that would have to be one of the last things that we would do. But that is obviously one thing that we do have to look at. 401k possibility, leave carryover, hourly rate, pay rates compared to other like-sized organizations. It's one of the biggest expenses that the county has. And yes, it does have to be looked at.
Okay, so let's bring some clarification to the table. FRS is Florida Retirement System. The county, the contributions that go to that, that's all controlled by the state. So the county is not set up to be contributing to a 401k type plan. The city of Fernandina Beach, however, is and can do that if they choose to. The county does have a volunteer program that's a 457. That's what that plan is called. It's comparable to a 401. So at this particular place in time, the county has no options and cannot change that. There would have to be some drastic legislative ruling to do that, and we'd have to deal on a state level.
Well, Mr. Stoops said everything I was going to say. Our employees that we have right now, they're under the state retirement system. We have no say-so other than when an employee comes into work, they have the opportunity. They can either go into the state retirement system or they can opt for the 401k, 451, 457 system. They have that option whenever they come to work. And once they're in it, it's just like being in Social Security, anything else. That's what goes on. So there's really no other options on that for the county to save anything because it's a state retirement system.
Thank you. Okay. What is the single greatest challenge facing the county today? The single greatest challenge facing the county today.
You are so getting tired of hearing this. The budget. The budget, we take money from the 1 cent sales tax. It's gone. We draw down the reserves. They will be gone. The budget can do away with Nassau County. I don't know how much plainer I can be.
I'll take a different approach to that because you're always going to have issues with the budget, but one of those ways to solve that, of course, again, is jobs. Here's the reason we can't do that is we have lack of skilled workers, and this is a national problem. Moving forward, there's going to be about a 60% gap in skilled workers to walk into the manufacturing jobs. The problem is we only have about 20% qualified for those jobs. So we have a 40% gap in skilled workers. If we would begin programs and start private-public partnerships, working with our colleges, working with our schools, building the infrastructure to train our kids and our young people and our workforce, we can secure those type of entities that will solve our budget issues.
single biggest issue that I feel is to continue the economic development that we have started, to bring jobs in, to get the houses filled that are sitting there empty, and that'll take care of the budget issues. I disagree with my opponent about the budget issues. We are not depleting your reserves, and by the way, those are your reserves. You overpaid. Last year, we put 16% into the reserve fund from the money that we collected from you folks. That's your money. And we didn't return it back to you. You didn't get a rebate like you do on the IRS. We put that in reserves, and if we have to use that along with the 1 cent sales tax, then we will do that to keep the budget balanced. Thank you.
I think the single greatest challenge we have is finding a substitute for the ad valorem tax. The ad valorem tax is a moving target depending on the economy. What we have to do is develop a new industry-driven base of taxes. These people will come, they'll stay, they'll spend their money in Nassau County. We don't do enough of that ourselves. If you're buying outside of the county, they say 44% of the working force in Nassau County leave the county each day. Where do they spend their money? Outside the county. We must grow ourselves into a community where you can worship, work, play, and enjoy life in your communities instead of traveling. That's our biggest challenge.
You have 30 seconds rebuttal, because he was named in the answer.
My opponent said I was incorrect in the assumption I made. The reserves are your money, that's correct. Your savings accounts are your money too. You don't pull money out of your savings account every month to pay your electric bill. You don't take non-recurring funds to pay recurring expenses. That's all I have to say.
Describe how you see Nassau County in 5 years with regard to development on State Road 200. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, say that one more time.
Describe how you see Nassau County in 5 years with regard to development and infrastructure on State Road 200.
A mess on the current track, but if we will begin to develop alternative routes and plan our infrastructures and our building properly over the next 5 years, we can actually avoid bumper-to-bumper traffic. There are some Vision 2032 packages that were presented, so the current commission has been working toward a program. If we would continue in that direction and build these community areas, it will alleviate some of the traffic that we have coming now. Also, some more development toward 95. You actually, a lot of traffic people coming in to do some shopping here or eating at some of our restaurants, some of them would stop at 95 and would also eliminate some traffic there.
That's one of the things that we've worked extensively on, like I was talking about earlier, working with Tallahassee to help us with the infrastructure problems. We have one of our commissioners, Commissioner Leeper, serves on the TPO. We've got it in the books in the future. Adding another lane to A1A to take care of some of the traffic congestion that's there. But then also working with our partners, our corporate partners that are here, like Rayonier and Rock 10 and Amelia Island Plantation, to work with us on making it more feasible. Nobody wants to go. It's kind of like the old, if you remember, Yogi Bear said, nobody goes to that restaurant anymore. It's too crowded. You know, so it's the same way. You know, we don't want anybody to think it's too crowded to come here to spend their money with us. Thank you.
In our district, there are plans now for a loop road around the area where Target, the concourse, Chester Road back along the governmental road. If this road is built as it is scheduled, it will take a lot of the local traffic off of the highway, which people shopping, traveling to the churches there and the subdivisions can enter and loop without going out on the highway. That will help solve some of the issues along with the extra lane we're going to put in.
I personally would like to see more development toward 95. We've got 4 lanes from here to Callahan. Of course, the development stops about Yulee. I don't know where we would get the money for another lane. That's the same thing we're talking about again with the budget. If we had money in the sales tax account, we might have some money for some capital improvements, but we don't. It's going to put us further in debt to do the additional lane. I think if we go toward 95 and kind of concentrate our efforts there, we can get bang for buck we've already spent.